So we back to as a man thinks. So we were talking about men crying up here for a little bit. So we're going to get to some serious issues today. We did want to say our Feed the Homeless event was awesome. It went off well. So thank you for everybody that supported. Much blessings to you. And we did want to talk about some serious things though.
Hey, real quick, I mean, if you recognize these colors, hey, we don't mind turning the bottle around if you want to sponsor us. Hey, shoot us a quick email. You know,
Cups,
like these cups.
Solo. Whoever's in the cups, whatever you want.
Whatever's in the cup can be sponsored too. So,
but again, thank you for all your support with the as a man thinks Feed the Homeless event. Thank you for your donations. Appreciate everything that you all did to help us to feed the homeless.
Man, but bro, just the people out there, the energy, you know, the people that cried, the people that, you know, felt so grateful that we were out there impacting the community, the people that hugged us, the people that, you know, encouraged us to, you know, that what we were doing was helping them. You know, that is what matters. So thank you guys, everybody that supported, everybody that donated. Well, you donated $5, $10. I will tell you that your donation did not go in void. People's lives was helped, people's lives was changed, and there was kids that were living on the street that actually had a hot meal because of you. So thank you.
All right. All right. So again, thanks again for your support. But yeah, we wanted to get to some serious topics here. So what was the topics? I want to make sure I don't steal no one's thunder here. So we talked about how do you get over past hurts, past dealings, past loss, things that have affected you. Especially this is coming out right after Father's Day. So I know we've got some strong topics here. A couple of brothers who probably have some thoughts on losing fathers. So how do y'all get over that?
Bro, I honestly don't know, bro. I'll tell you this. I mean, I just got done crying an hour ago. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's very, very emotional. It's almost like trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like I really feel like I'm dealing with trauma. Like I work at Grady in the emergency room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to lose a loved one for me, it's just it's still devastating, man. It's still devastating when I think about things I want to accomplish, and I hear it over and over again. All right, so I talk to people that's in my life that I feel like want me to be successful and speak very positive things in my life, so I listen to them. And the things they tell me all the time is, man, you know, your dad was great and he left a legacy and he left this for you to do and that for you to do. And all that sounds good. But at the end of the day, damn it, he ain't here. And it still hurt. And it's still a pain that aching inside of me. And people tell me all the time, oh, you know, time will heal the hurt. And I just don't believe that, bro. I don't believe it. You know, so until I see him again, at this day, I'm gonna deal with it day by day. But it's still a lot of hurt, man. Still a lot of hurt.
For me, my father didn't pass as recent as Courtney's, but like he said, I don't think you ever really get over it. I think you try to. I know for me, I try to occupy myself, maybe so that I'm constantly busy. My mind's constantly going, so maybe I don't think about it as much. I try not to be by myself as much, even though sometimes, you know, you really can't help being by yourself and you're gonna have those thoughts. And talking about it, me and my brother maybe rekindle some, you know, conversations of, you know, what he used to do, or maybe you hear a song on the radio that just triggers whatever. I mean, for me, I don't think that I'm recording. I don't think that you ever get over it. I know they do say time heals all. And I do think that maybe you don't cry as much or whatever, but as far as the pain or the thoughts or missing that individual, I don't think you ever really get over that. And for me, the most recent thing that happened was my mom passing, and for him, it's his father passing. So for me, I don't have a parent, so it's definitely difficult. But like I say, I think I try to just keep busy, more or less. And that might not be the right thing to do. Maybe another solution out there that could happen, or something I need to look into. I know people say counseling and this, that, and the third, and even somebody to talk to, and you know, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I don't think that's gonna help. That's gonna help me get over it. So I don't really have an answer for it. Like, what do you do to get over it? Because I really don't think that you ever do. I really don't think that you ever do.
Man, you know what's crazy is, so my mom is still alive, but it's almost like I feel like when my dad passed, I lost both parents. Because my mom's life changed so drastically, and it's almost as if she's here, but she's not here. I feel like I lost both parents.
How long were they married?
Oh man, they were married 35 years, 40 years, so they were married a long time. And it just feels like, I live on this earth and I lost both parents. Because even though my mom's still alive, she is, she's in a room, my brother's house. She don't leave, she don't move, she's very quiet. And I still believe she is dealing with the hurt. And my dad was everything to her, but so it's tough, man. It's very tough. Very tough. But I think you could think about that in a manner of as well of, how do you get over hurt that you've had in relationships?
Yeah, I'll speak on that. I do want to speak about the parents real quick too, though. I mean, I've heard both of y'all. Obviously, Kyrie's lost both his parents, and Courtney's lost his dad. I fortunately have both of my parents still, but it does make you, appreciate them more. Make you want to, make sure you call and let them know how much you do appreciate them. Sometimes we can take that for granted. Should be a time where you don't go for a period of time speaking to your parents, because whether you live in the same state or not, you still should be caring for them. I can tell you the relationship that the closest to me personally was my grandfather. For you all who may know, my grandfather helped raise me. My grandfather is also the one who turned me on to NWA, the person who turned me on to Boosie Collins. I mean, my grandfather was just a diverse man, and he taught me so many lessons. But my first 12, 13 years, I was raised with my grandparents. So my grandfather and my grandmother were my parents, and both of them have passed. And then my mom, who was, she was young, she had me at 19. So, we 19 years old, we coming up in the 80s. You doing what you was doing in the 80s, a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. And, for the most part, she didn't want me doing the things that she had a part of. So she let me be with my grandparents that raised me. And then once I got a little older and she got a little more mature, she brought me back home and I stayed with her. On another level, someone who I related to closely is my wife's father. Now, my wife's father has passed, and I really took on a strong relationship with him, especially for my kids, for them getting to see their grandfather and be with him and that. And I can even see the effects it has on my wife. So whenever his birthday comes or his anniversary day that he passed came, or when it's just a thought of something that makes her think about him, whether it's me and my daughter dancing or dating, and she knows she doesn't have that with her dad, there's an effect there. You can see the emotion of getting involved in it. So, how do you deal with those? I think what you can do is just, relish those times that you have with them. Think about those times that you really care with them. I know for Kyrie, at a young age, you lost your dad, but it was still something I'm sure that he instilled in you. Take something with those times. Take something that you really do enjoy and then inspire you to do the same for yours. Relationships. So what were we saying on relationships, Courtney? I apologize.
Yeah, man. I was just saying that, even in relationships, how do you get over, the hurt of a relationship. You know, being in a relationship, whether it's with a woman, or like a friendship relationship. I know in our last episode we talked about just friendships, but you know, people say time heals everything, but man, I tell you, it's a struggle. I've been in relationships where, you know, that you've broken up with the person and it's been a tough battle, or been in relationships where I've had friends that no longer is friends anymore. It's a tough battle. And it just seems like we deal with so much as human beings. Sometimes it feels very overwhelming. As you walk this earth, and we know that we live in this world, but we're not of this world. We know that. And we do know that there are going to be trials, tribulations, and things that go through. But I would say, man, just for me personally, sometimes it's just unbearable sometimes. It seems like, especially as Christians, I sometimes feel like we go through more of persecution and more of dealing with, fighting this everyday life, living and trying to live right and trying to do things right and trying to, put our families in the best situation. But sometimes, man, you just be looking at God like, yo, can I get a break? This hurt. This really hurt. Like, do you really feel how I feel? Do you really feel how my heart is hurting? And I know he does, but when we're down in the natural, we don't always feel that way.
Yeah, I guess I can agree as far as when it comes to relationships, depending on what type of relationship you were in. For me, I would say sometimes it really depends on maybe how the relationship ended as to how it would affect you in the long run. So say if I'm in a relationship, if I was in an intimate relationship with a young lady and we've been talking for a while, but then she was out cheating. You see what I'm saying? So then now, even though maybe I still may care for her, it now turns into resentment. So then now, I don't think it's gonna take me as long to get over you, simply because of what happened. Now, if we just kind of just grew apart or something like that, maybe I still got love for you, maybe, so I think sometimes it's how the relationship ends. The same thing with friendships, like you said, last thing we was talking about, I can't say that any of the friendships that I had when I was a kid and the people that I don't talk to anymore, I can't say that like I feel bad or anything, or like time, it's gonna take time to heal that. I think it just kind of fizzled out. I think it was something that was just building and building, and then it kind of just resolved itself. For me, I think it's I don't know, it's situational. So then when we talked about our parents, obviously we love them unconditionally. So then to lose them, now that's a different type of love, and to me, it's a different type of hurt. So then it seems like that hurt almost never goes away. No matter how long ago it was, it's like that hurt is gonna always be there. So I think it's just, I don't know, it's really the way that it ends in some instances, and then it's who it is. No matter how much we want to say that, you got two parents or you got two siblings or maybe you got friends, you always gonna treat somebody better than the other one. You love somebody more than you love the, it is what it is. So I think it's different to who it is as to how it'll affect you in the long run. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it depends on that relationship too. So, like I've been trying to run my own business, do different things for years. And I can remember when at one point I thought I was going to be, just be somebody that was going to be able to fund other businesses. What do you call them? Like a venture capitalist, where I would, people have business and I want to provide to the business. There was one business I got into with this joker. I won't say your name, but you know who you are, dude. If you listen to this podcast, you know who you are. You know you owe me my money, boy.
Wait. That got serious real quick. That got serious. Hey, what a weapon was that? What a weapon was that?
But in all honesty, I see this.
He called him a boy and everything, boy. You owe me my money, boy. Hey, look, we gonna see you too. I got your back, bro.
To this day, that was the relationship that was tight. That relationship had to end, and they got courts involved. And again, I stepped away from it because, I know from where my help comes from. It don't come from that situation. So, you know, like the Bronx tale, the Bronx tale, sometimes it takes a certain amount of money, $20 or whatever it is, to separate you from that relationship that you have with somebody. You know, and I'll be honest with you, when you learn the character of somebody, even when it deals with money, you realize you don't want to be in a relationship with that person anyway. So, and I'm grateful for that. But it does hurt sometimes when you put your trust and put your hope in certain people, in certain situations, and you know that that relationship wasn't received in the same manner that you might have seen it in. But in all honesty, I mean, that's a part of relationships, though. Relationships, you know, to me, again, I talked about in the last podcast, some are seasonal, some are not. You know, you just got to know which ones, you know, really hurt the most. But, you know, what's a transactional relationship and what's a loving relationship? You know, did you put your heart into something? Did you put your body and soul into something that you thought was going to be a love relationship and you realized that it wasn't? And now you were looking for more of that relationship than you should have been. And like past relationships, I've been married 19 years, it'll be 20 years next year. If there's a relationship that happened in the past, I'm over that. I may be cool with people, but I'm over it. I love where I'm at. And, you know, there was something that was hurts in there, great. So most of those are over with, but in terms of just, you know, friendships and relationships in that manner, you know, I don't get too hurt by things only because, you know, I think Courtney said on the last podcast, you know, it is what it is. You were there for a reason. You're not there for a reason. You can't get upset by it. You just got to understand it.
You're gonna get these hands, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
who you are.
Who you are.
Little boy.
He might not know, but he know.
We gonna see you, little boy. Nah, man, I mean, man, that got real sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I mean, you never tell me that story, bro.
It don't need to be said.
You know? No, but I mean, I agree with you, you know, LaShawn, I agree with you. I just think that, you know, what do y'all think about counseling? You think that work? Think counseling work?
Well, again, I guess I go back to, I mean, it really just depends. I don't know about paying somebody to talk to that maybe tell me the same thing that I already know. Like sometimes I just don't think I'd rather just talk to a friend or talk to my wife about whatever the situation is and see if that don't change things. I don't necessarily know the tactics that a counselor could necessarily pull or tell me what are they gonna tell me? Like, well, I've been through this situation, here's what I did. Like, well, what you did might not be what I need. So I'm not saying they can't work. I just don't know how beneficial it would be for me in a sense, you know, maybe a psychiatrist or something, because they can give you some pills, but not a counselor.
I got an answer, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Kyrie sounds scared. It's my opinion. Kyrie sounds scared. He don't want nobody to tell him this. Because you said you can see a psychiatrist. Now, a counselor is somebody's gonna help you to understand what your issues are. So you said you already know what they are. So what if you don't?
But then how would I know? If I don't know, then how would I know?
But their job is to help develop that and bring that out.
I mean, I know what the problem is, so they don't gotta tell me what it is. Like if I go to counseling for, say, losing my mom, I know the problem is losing my mom. So then, how are they gonna help me beat it and lost my mom?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right, exactly. So you talking to me about all of what you talking about, I'm not gonna go open this door and she's gonna be standing right there saying, "Hey," she called me Zeke. "Hey, Zeke." That's the only way you can really mend it or fix it. It's not gonna take away the hurt. Now, I can talk to you, I can talk to Courtney, and we can all sit up and cry like some big punks and all of that good stuff. And y'all can tell me what y'all think and all of that good stuff. To me, I'm talking to a friend that I feel like genuinely has my best interest at heart versus a counselor who I'm paying. Let's just face it. They ain't doing it for free. I'm not getting counseling for free.
It is very money motivated.
So they're gonna tell me whatever they think I want to hear.
It's not from the heart.
Well, I'll tell you my experience with a counselor. So I don't know about counselors after the fact of the situation. I can tell you one of the things that we did with marital counseling before we got married. And I'll tell you, I think that was the best thing that we did. The reason it was the best thing that we did was because, man, I knew Pascal since high school. And we dated off and on, and we felt that we knew each other before we got married. And when we went into it, they gave us a bunch of questions that we were asked about this, about that, and we were like, we knew all this. I mean, we worked as a team on We going there, we're gonna be like this, we're gonna be like that, we're gonna answer this way. And there were certain questions they asked us that made us go, maybe we don't know that about each other. And I tell you, the greatest thing I walked away with in that marital counseling was, and it was a Pastor Green's, Patrick, he was Covenant Christian at the time, but Jubilee Christian Church in Mattapan, love you all. But what they said at the time was, you got to understand in relationships, you can't change people. To me, that was the most profound thing, because I think so many people go into a relationship thinking, well, this is how I see them, this is how they are, but they're not going to stay that way. And you put your perceptions on what you want somebody to be, and if you don't get that, you see a lot of marriages fall apart, because what you expected to get out of that marriage, or we expected a person to become, didn't become. Now you looking like, oh, I was either sold a bag of goods, or I was expecting this, I didn't get it. And what they told us at the time was, marry what you're marrying. Don't expect more than what you're marrying. Now, naturally, you all are going to change. There's going to be certain things that you like, certain things that she likes that y'all don't like, and you'll adjust. But if you go into it with these preset expectations, that thing's going to be a certain way, you're going to set your marriage up to fall. And for us, that was the greatest thing that we did. And that was something that we didn't know. So again, we thought we had the answers. We're 25 and 26 years old. We're young, getting married, where most of our friends are still out having kids or doing whatever they're doing. We thought we knew all the answers, but they did give us something tangible to make us understand that we didn't have all the answers.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm on the fence with this, you know. And the reason why I'm on the fence is I believe, like, I know multiple people that are counselors, that are psychologists, that they're giving advice and their lives are screwed up. Like, how can you possibly tell me what is best for me and my future when your life is screwed up? And look, y'all might look right now, y'all might say, well, I'm judging. All right. Well, you're being judgmental. People, everybody got something that they're dealing with. That's right. That's true, right? I believe that. But I also believe that they're money motivated. If I tell a counselor today or tomorrow, hey, I can't pay you for 2 weeks because, you know, my check ain't hitting, they're going to say, come back in 2 weeks then, and then we can talk. They ain't going to say, well, I want to finish this session and I know you're hard, and it's not going to be that way. And I know that it's a job and they get paid to do a job. My thing is how can it be effective or beneficial for me? I went through counseling too. I went through counseling individually. I went through counseling, before I got married. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I think this is what I will say. This is what I will say. I'll give y'all this. When I went through counseling before I got married, it was with our pastors. Okay. I think that was wrong. I think it should have been maybe with an outside source of someone that didn't know either of us. Like, they can't draw any conclusions for her, for me, but people that were so close that knew things that went on in my life, knew things that went on in her life, they could speak in our life, but I think they spoke pretty much out of what they known and biblical, but mostly about what they known. And I don't feel as if it was beneficial. This is my opinion. I don't feel like it was beneficial. I don't feel like it helped us. And if you see this podcast, I ain't got nothing against you. We good. But hey, it's just how I feel.
Listen, I think they told her, you better not marry that man.
They probably did. Hey, they probably did. They probably did.
I mean, when you speak about like marriage counseling,
They still alive, though.
things like that, I feel like most of those people, I guess, is really based off of experiences, I guess. So like when you're talking to somebody, a marriage counselor, 9 times out of 10, that marriage counselor's been married, so they're speaking from a place of experience.
Right.
So, but then to Courtney's point, if they don't know you, they speaking off experience and they hear what you're saying, but I still think that everybody dig in a way in which they would settle an issue. Like, that's where they pull it from. So would what they talking about necessarily help me? I don't know, but it could. I'm not saying that it couldn't. So I guess it could work, maybe. But I mean, most people, and it don't have to be a counselor. It could be a you, it could be a me, it could be anybody. I feel like can speak off an experience, especially like if they've been in that situation. So just take for instance, like my wife is, and Courtney is like my wife's mentor. And so like he been in the restaurant business for so long, he can tell her a whole lot of stuff is gonna be beneficial to her. Why? Based off his experience and how he handles certain situations. So I think that that is beneficial. So him talking to her is definitely beneficial because he's experienced that. But if like me, for instance, and I'm always talking, I haven't experienced any of it. I tell her all the
I
time.
ain't experienced much of none in his life.
Like how I would say this or how I would do that, and but maybe I'm not an effective counselor in that area. It's not the fact that I'm outside, right? I'm outside counsel, and I don't have the experience to speak on. So I think I don't know. I'm like Courtney. I'm on the fence about the counseling.
Bro, I just feel like I could print off on Google a list of counseling answers, give them to Deshaun and say, ask me these questions. I feel like that's gonna help me more than anything. So Courtney, this went on in your life. How did that make you feel? Well, Deshaun, I think it made me feel like blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. All right, great. I don't feel like it's gonna be beneficial. This same woman over here that printed off those same notes and is telling me to do one thing, and she losing her marriage over here in her own home. Like, I'm just saying, I'm tired of this. No, I'm tired of this shit. Okay, I'm gonna say it. All right, I don't believe in it. I don't think it worked. Okay, if it do work and it worked for you, thank goodness it worked for you. But for me, I don't think it worked.
Listen,
I don't think it worked. I'm just saying.
Hey, Courtney, the next time you feel that way,
say it.
take 5 deep breaths.
listen. This is definitely gonna be the scariest, angry version of Courtney. But no, in all honesty, so this is my only issue with that is, for one, especially African Americans, the one thing we don't do is get mental health. We don't look for help. And again, one of the reasons why we don't do that is because we feel, oh, they can't help me. They're going through this. But again, I think that's pride too. And again, at some point, whether it's, and I don't want nobody to give me no counsel who got their own issues going on, but we all got our own issues going on, right? I mean, even if we're a friend, it says that there's wisdom in the multitude of counsels.
Right.
You can come to me and ask about something. I might be dealing with something myself, but if I care enough to give you a solution based on what I feel, and I can give you a solution that's there, then there is multitude of counsel. So I personally feel like, and again, I think you should vet anybody you're consider to be a counselor, someone's going to pour into your life. You need to vet that person and make sure not that their life's perfect, but they can speak to you about a subject based on their experience in that matter.
Right, like how many divorces did you have? Oh, I had 3. Well, they ain't gonna work. Okay, because you didn't divorce 3 times, I mean, they ain't gonna work.
Well, in all honesty, they're an expert in divorce, but they in the wrong way. Like, so we're gonna go back to Steve Harvey. I know that's one thing we brought up. So Corey Holcomb brings up this thing about why Steve Harvey is considered the marriage guru with books. That dude's married on his 3rd marriage. That's real.
Speaking from experiences.
Well, I mean, some people just say that. Sometimes that means experienced enough to know what not to do and what to do. So, I mean, personally, I'm not going to listen to somebody who's been divorced multiple times about how to stay in a successful marriage.
Why not?
Because he ain't been in one.
They're a counselor.
No.
Yeah, they're a counselor.
No, he is a counselor. I said you got to vet your counselor. He's been vetted and it's been shown that he ain't got the skills.
He ain't lost his license yet though, so he can still counsel.
He legit, right? And for a reason.
He can counsel you.
Look, and Steve, we ain't coming at you, bro. You want to donate, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you in Atlanta too,
you here in Atlanta, we in Atlanta, like, we rock with you, but you've been married a few times, bro. It's all good. Your experience.
We love you though, Steve. As a man thinks.org, donate tax deduction.
You seasoned.
I'm just saying, y'all, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna knock anybody with what their profession is.
Mm-hmm.
My profession every single day is flipping burgers. I feel like I'm the best burger flipper out there. All right. Could you tell me that I'm not? Maybe.
I do all the time.
Maybe you could. But then I'm gonna challenge you and I'm gonna say, okay, well, let's go in the grill. And I'm gonna show you how I flip the burgers, and then you show me how you flip the burger.
First of all, we all know McDonald's don't flip burgers.
That's true. That's very true.
I didn't know that.
That's
Oh.
true. They do not flip burgers. That's true. But we sure know how to take them off the grill. I'm saying I'm the best take the burger off the grill person there is, okay? All right.
Y'all learning the inner secrets of McDonald's. I do.
Oh, you know
that.
They do not flip the burgers.
They
Do
don't
not
have to
flip
do
the
a
meat.
cooking.
No, so it's a now we're finna get into this.
I know. I don't know
It's a
about
flat.
Hey, now
you
he's a
need
counselor, he's a
look, you
professional.
lay the meat down and then you hit the button and the platen goes down. And it cooks on both sides.
Right. That
And
makes
then when it comes up, you pick it up. So
sense.
yeah, anybody need any training, or you looking for a job at McDonald's, I'm just gonna go ahead and shout it out there, holler at me, hit me up on a podcast, send me a message. I'll hook you up, you know what I'm saying?
We
You
got
could be the next best burger flipper. Well, no, the next best burger picker up.
There you go.
There we
got
Hey,
Yeah.
you can hook you up with a job. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, but then when you get there, hey, don't be, hey, he's serious about that work, so don't think like,
Yeah.
oh boy, y'all finna be dabbing. Oh, hey, Courtney put me on, I'm straight. Yeah, Courtney will let you go just like he,
Sounds like we're speaking
just
from
like he
experience.
put you on.
Sounds like we're speaking from experience.
No, I know.
I'll say this. I've worked for Courtney. There's not an issue there. I did not work in a burger flipping capacity or a burger pulling capacity. Worked in a manager capacity, and there was never an issue there working for Courtney. Not that I would tell him to his face.
No, but end of the day, I know we veered off, but at the end of the day, I know that people out here dealing with real hurt. You know what I'm saying? Real pain, things that they feel like they can't overcome. And I would tell you the only thing in my life that gives me hope for tomorrow is knowing that God has my best interest. And no matter what I face, no matter what I go through, no matter what the situation is, I'm gonna come out on top. It don't feel good now. The hurt and the pain, the discomfort of thinking to yourself, someone you love you'll never see again, or somebody that impact your life so much, you'll never be able to, have a genuine conversation with that person again. But I know that he dwells in me. And I know that everything that I'm doing in my life to impact people, he's looking down and he's proud. So those are the things that keep me ticking. If I did not have that small bit of hope of knowing that God got me, I'm telling you, I'd be mentally unstable.
Yeah, I love that, man. I, heavily agree with you on faith as someone who didn't grow up in faith. Definitely my faith is what I lean on. Just because, without it, I don't know where I would be at. I definitely feel like without the faith that I have, I would be someone who just kind of went on their own thoughts, went on their own feelings. And I was one of those people, man, who just, don't split the poles, I just had that kind of crazy thought about how the world works and how things were. And I remember when I first got really connected to a belief system that I realized none of that stuff matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not that I don't feel like death matters, obviously they do, but, I feel like the people that we have lost, the people that I've lost, I know that I'll see them again. So my faith really helps me to understand that my time here hurts because I don't see them, but I do know that they're in a better place than they would have been here, and they're going to be in a better place when we all get to see each other again. So, but again, I've dealt with hurt on a lower level when it comes to loss. Both of these brothers can attest to having greater, but I do take faith in just knowing that the people that have left here are not in a worse place than where they were here. So.
All right, before we get out of here, I want to put something on y'all mind. Me, myself, I stay going down these rabbit holes, and so I just want to know, leave a comment, shoot an email. So when a person that you believe has passed on, where do you believe that they go? It could be faith-based, it could be just, what you think of, because I myself have a lot of different thoughts and have a lot of different takes, and I'm not gonna come at you saying, oh no, it's definitely this way or it's definitely that way. I'm a person with an open mind. I say I'm not gonna come at y'all. And I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm not gonna come at y'all no type of way. I just want to know, like, what do you guys really think? What really happens after death? What really happens after death?
I mean, I know for me personally, I can tell you what happened to you. Once you gonna leave, I know what's gonna happen.
Next episode, or maybe whenever we decide to talk about it. I just wanted to put that on your mind so you can go research, or maybe you can just like really just, this dude here, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway,
So definitely leave your comments on there. Talked about a lot of subjects here, but leave your comments. Kyrie brought up a great point, and at some point we will talk about that. It's a strong subject for a lot of people. But yeah, where do people, when people leave here, where do they go? It'll be one to get our heads around. So let us know what you think about that. Let us know about friendships. Let us know about what happens when you do lose people. How does that affect you? A lot of things we talked about. Again, thanks for all your support with the Feed the Homeless event. We love you. We appreciate your support. Definitely tax deductible everything you do. Visit the website, asamanthinks.org. Get connected to us in our chat. Get connected to what we're doing. We want you to be a part of us. Get connected to our podcast. And Kyrie, where can you find us?
No, I think I just gotta say one more thing, okay? I think that God has a purpose for all of us, okay, except Kyrie. That's he's the only one that God just did not give him a purpose. God put him on the earth and just said,
Be
just
lost.
make it the best you can. So we have decided to create a purpose for him. So he gonna tell you all about that purpose. Go ahead. How can they reach out to us?
hey, y'all can reach out to us. So like Sean said, asamantthink.org. You can reach you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, any of your popular audio platforms. Please just listen. We definitely appreciate, again, you can donate 50 cents, $1, $2, 10,000, 50 million, what you want to put out, so definitely keep tuning in, and we out.
Uncle Steve, we love you.
Got you, bro.
Peace.